This is the Prealgebra Review, Part 2. We've been talking about evaluating expressions by plugging in values for variables. The ones we just completed only had one variable in there. This one has two. This one has an x and a y. And again, we have two parts. Part A, we're given an x value and a y value, and Part B, we're given two different values. But we're going to be evaluating this expression. So what we have to do is we're going to plug in these values. It's making sure that we plug in the 2 where the x's are and the 1 where the y's are. So part A. This is 4 times x. X is 2, so 4 times 2, plus 3 times y. Y is 1, minus 1, over 2 times x. X is 2, plus 1y, you don't have to write the 1 in there if you don't want to, and y is 1. Now I need to simplify this using order of operations, and that means I need to simplify the top and the bottom separately and then do a division or reduce the fraction if that's what I end up with. Top problem. I have multiplications to take care of before I can do the addition and the subtraction. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 times 1 is 3, minus 1, over, in the bottom do the multiplication as well. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1. Now do the addition and subtraction. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 minus 1 would be 10. 4 plus 1 would be 5. And now finally do that division. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So the answer to part A is 2. Let's repeat this for part B. It's going to work essentially the same way. We're just plugging in different values. So 4 times x. 4 times x, and this time x is 1, plus 3 times y, and this time y is 5, minus 1, over 2 times x, 2 times 1, plus y, and y is 5. Now, same basic order of operation steps we have here. We do the multiplications first. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 times 5 is 15, minus 1, over 2 times 1 is 2, plus 5. Okay, now let's do the additions and subtractions. 4 plus 15 would be 19. 19 minus 1 is 18. 2 plus 5 is 7. Fire truck just went by. I apologize for the siren. I get 8 over 7. I would reduce this fraction if I could. This does not reduce. This is in lowest terms. If you are asked to go to a mixed number, and you probably would not be on this type of problem, you would divide 7 into 18. 7 goes into 18 2 times with 4 left over. So this would be the same thing as 2 and 4/7. But I'm betting your answer that they're looking for would be 18 over 7. I want to remind you of a property of arithmetic. It's called the distribution property. This becomes really, really, really important in algebra. Now, when we talk about order of operations, we know we are supposed to be able to, we're supposed to do what's inside the parentheses first and then keep going. So if I follow order of operations here, I would have to do 4 plus 5 first, which would give me 9. So this would be 3 times 9, which is 27. Now, what happens in algebra a lot is we're going to have things inside the parentheses that we are not allowed to combine, and we'll get there in a second. The distribution property allows us to simplify some of those things, even though we will not be allowed to combine them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rework this problem, showing you what the distribution property says. And you will see that we get the same value. A lot of teachers call this the rainbow property. And what we do is we take the number that's on the outside, the multiplier, and this works when we have an addition or a subtraction inside the parentheses only. I'm going to take this value and multiply it here. And I'm going to take this value and I'm going to multiply it here as well. It kind of makes a little rainbow shape. This is the same thing as 3 times 4 plus, this sign comes down here, 3 times 5. So I've distributed, in the English language sense, I've taken this 3 and given it out to each of these two numbers to multiply with. 3 times 4 is 12. I'm following order of operations now. 3 times 5 is 15. Now if you add 12 and 15, you also get 27. You get the same value. Now obviously if it's all regular numbers and you're allowed to add first, that's your easiest way to get it done. But you'll see in a minute how this becomes a very important property for us.